We spent over $300 at the Universal Mardi Gras Festival trying to determine what the best food options are so you don't have to spend your hard-earned money. And be sure to watch till the end of the video because we're going to give our top 5 food items that we recommend. Jumping straight into it, we have France. At France, we had the ham, cheese, and berry crepe along with the French blonde specialty drink. The ham and cheese berry crepe was delicious. It was a freshly baked crepe filled with sliced ham, brie cheese, and mustard cream sauce, finished with a berry gastrique. And while we didn't try the French blonde, it sounded very interesting being a elderflower and grapefruit-centric drink. Might be worth trying.
Next up, we have the Italy booth. We had high hopes for this one, but it did kind of let us down. First up, we have the burrata focaccia. It's a house-made focaccia filled with mortadella, fresh burrata cheese, and a pistachio pesto. It looked delicious on the plate, and we had heard good things about it, but we honestly ranked this pretty low on our list of all the food items that we tried. It was cold and didn't have a whole lot of flavor. I think it would have been better served as a warm sandwich. Next in the booth we had the lobster tail dessert, layers of sweet flaky pastry filled with a rich vanilla ricotta cream. This was delicious. It was a pretty good deal at about $6.50. It had a really good taste to it. Although it was cold / room temp also, I think it would have been better just slightly warm. Overall, the Italy booth was not our favorite.
Moving down the list, we come to Austria. Austria was really a delightful surprise for us. We ended up getting 2 of the 3 food items here. We had the pork schnitzel, which was crispy pork cutlet with potato salad, lingonberry jam, and lemon. And the Kaiser Schmarrn was a fluffy torn pancake with pieces dusted and powdered with sugar, served with applesauce and more lingonberry jam. These were both delicious items. We almost tried the goulash, which was a slow-cooked tender beef with tomatoes, peppers, potatoes, and paprika, served with artisan bread and sour cream. But we had a lot of different items to try while we were here, and we just had to make some executive decisions.
Next up we have China. At China there were 2 food options and we ended up getting 1 item. We chose the Mela beef skewer, which is a marinated beef skewer topped with Szechuan spice, blend, and scallions. This was delicious. There were many different beef skewers throughout the festival. I can think of 2 or 3 off the top of my head, and this one definitely takes the win for being the most tender and the most flavorful. So highly recommend this item. Welcome to Puerto Rico, most recently famous for its singer Bad Bunny, but also famous for its delicious food. We usually love the Puerto Rico booth at Mardi Gras, and this year did not disappoint. We tried all 3 food items at this booth, so let's start with the pinchos de lechon, char-grilled pork shoulder skewer with a guava barbecue sauce and pan soba. We did enjoy the pinchos. They were slightly tougher than the China skewer, but definitely had a great flavor. Next up were the pastelon fritters. These are crispy sweet plantain and picadillo beef fritters served with mayo ketchup. This came with a good portion size, especially for sharing. You got 2 fritters each, and they were definitely flavorful with that mayo ketchup. The last item on this booth was a dessert, coconut flan coco, coconut flan with pineapple cake and a rum whip topping, and this is a must-have at this festival. This was our top food item throughout the whole festival. It was so moist and very flavorful and not too sweet, so it was definitely a really well-rounded dessert.
Now we'll head down south to the NOLA Bayou. This is a typical booth here at the festival. They usually have this every year, but they do change up the food items just slightly. This year we had a baked Cajun mac and cheese, a fried oyster po' boy, and they also had the fried green tomato po' boy, which is a remnant from last year as well. Now the baked Cajun mac and cheese was a cavatappi pasta with andouille sausage and Holy Trinity tossed in spicy Cajun cream sauce with scallions. This was a real delight. It looks in the picture like it's a little stale, but once you broke it up, it was really quite flavorful. And in my opinion, neither of the po' boys are worth writing home about, but they are tasty, and if you're looking for a quick sandwich, they're a good bite. And sticking with the same theme, we have the New Orleans food booth. The food options here consist of the king cake that you see here. We have the beignets and an espresso martini that has a king cake syrup inside of it. Overall, this is a generic booth and one I think you can probably skip over if you're looking to make the most of your time here.
Along with the mini food booths, there were several stands set up just for drinks, including Bloody Marys and specialty cocktails. We mainly stuck to the beer garden, but these looked fun. Moving on, we come to Chile, Patagonia. This is a newer booth this year, and it featured the Verlasso Fire Salmon, which is a fire-roasted Verlasso salmon served with crispy potatoes and fresh herb salsa. And it was delicious. It ranked number 2 on my overall list, right behind the coconut cake from Puerto Rico. It was nice and flaky, the potatoes had a good flavor, and that herb salsa was nice and fresh. It was a really great dish and a really great portion size. The other dish at this booth was the pastel de choclo, which had raisins, olives, and eggs in it, and we just didn't try that because we don't really like those.
Another new food booth that they added this year was Greece. Now this actually had a very strong contender, the spanakopita. It is a savory Greek pastry filled with spinach and feta cheese wrapped in crispy layers of phyllo dough, and it was very, very tasty. It was basically a spanakopita dip packaged up in a fried little shell, and it was delightful. We also tried the chicken souvlaki, which was a marinated and roasted chicken skewer with feta cheese, tomato, onion, cucumber salad served inside of a warm pita. It sounds much better than it tasted. At least in our experience, the pita was quite dry and there just wasn't enough tzatziki sauce to really benefit the gyro.
Moving on to Mexico, you have 3 food items and 2 different drinks. We tried 2 of the 3 food items, including the flautas, which are crispy beef flautas with tomatillo sauce, sour cream, and shaved lettuce and radish. We really enjoyed these. You get 2 flautas with 1 serving, so easy to split. They were very flavorful, and the salsa on top was nice and fresh. Next up, we have the tres leches cake, which kind of threw me for a loop because it's a soaked 3-milk chocolate cake with toasted almonds and meringue. A little bit different than your normal tres leches. Overall, the cake was kind of dry, but the meringue on top was tasty. I ranked this pretty low on my list of overall items. Here we are at Brazil. Brazil included 3 different food items and 1 drink. We got 2 of the 3 food items this time, but we've had the freshly baked warm Brazilian cheese bread in the past, and it is delicious. We decided to go with the picana, which is a char-grilled beef sirloin cap steak and sliced served with farofa and vinaigrette. It was good. It was kind of tough and hard to cut, but overall it had a good flavor. Next up, we have the maracuja mousse, which was a passion fruit mousse with a passion fruit gelée, and it was a small portion, and it was also very tart. You really have to like passion fruit to enjoy this little mousse. Overall, it was not our favorite, but it wasn't horrible.
In both of our opinions, Jamaica was a nice mid-tier booth. It didn't rise to the top, but it also didn't really stick out as a sore thumb either. The only big complaint we had with this booth was Jamaica is known for its patties, and they really missed an opportunity for having their patties on the menu. Now what they did have was jerk chicken, and it was not a bad jerk chicken. It was pretty tasty. The chicken was tender, came with a nice, warm, crispy piece of bread. I really enjoyed that. In addition to that, they had an item called Rasta pasta, and this was a penne pasta with colorful bell peppers and a jerk vegan coconut curry cream sauce, and kind of like the other items we've had, it was good. It wasn't bad, but it was just bland. It needed something else. I don't know what that is, but it wasn't my favorite item.
We have now made it to Ireland, which with Finnegan's being closed most of the year, this is a great way to get in your Irish fare. We have 3 dishes at this booth, including the fish and chips, which are your standard fish and chips, much like the ones you could get at Finnegan's. They are slightly different than the ones you get at 3 Broomsticks, but definitely hot, fresh, and very tasty. They come with your traditional tartar sauce and chips. Next you have the beer and cheese soup, which is a beer and cheese soup served with a warm pretzel stick. This one was okay, nothing special, but not horrible. A nice little snack, but kind of pricey for what it is. $350 later, we tried 24 total food items. And here we're going to show you our top 5 from the whole festival. We did not include any drinks on this list. This is just our top 5 food items that we've tried. If you enjoyed this walk through the taste of Mardi Gras, then give us a like and give us a comment on what your favorite food item has been so far. Be on the lookout for our overview video of the full Mardi Gras season.